So, welcome to another edition of Elk Grove TV Girls Soccer. Here we are at Elk Grove against Buffalo Grove. Buffalo Grove visiting team in white, Elk Grove, of course, in green. And my name is Bob Vilsoy. Some of you know me from the Harper College women's volleyball team. And I am here with Brian Syring, who has been playing soccer, I like to say, since birth. So we're going to have a lot of expert analysis on this game. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Yeah, from birth is just about accurate, as I was going to my brother's soccer games from a very young age as well. So I've been around the sport for about as long as someone can.
So just one of the housekeeping things we want to get over with at the very beginning is that this game is live on Facebook. So the way I find the game is I get onto my wife's Facebook account, because of course I don't have a Facebook account, and then I type in search on EGTV, and the game will be live right there. Then also later on, the game will be uploaded to EGTV.viebit.com. So EGTV.viebit.com. You can download the game, play it back, and for the players on the field, they can actually create a highlight film from that if they like and give it to their favorite college down the road. Now, being the Harper College volleyball coach, I couldn't help but notice this. This is senior night today, so there's three seniors on the Elk Grove team. There's Karen Herrera, number 8, and then there's Nicole Castro, number 20, and Stephanie, spelled Stephany, Del Real. She's also a senior. And in Nicole Castro's case, we were talking, so I didn't hear the whole story, but it sounds like she's going to play her soccer at Harper College next year. So, Nicole, when you get to Harper, look me up. I'm the volleyball coach. And bring all your friends with you so that they can play volleyball at Harper as well. We got Katie Huffman. She was on the team last 2 years from Elk Grove, and she's just now finishing up graduating from Harper. She had a fantastic 2-year career there. So, and this goes to the Buffalo Grove players as well. When you think about what you want to do in college, the 2-year college option to continue playing is a really good idea. Now, we said we were going to talk about the teams a little bit. Both teams are, 2-4 in conference? They're tied for 4th place?
They're both 2-4 in conference. Elk Grove does have a bit of an advantage in the overall at 6-7-1. Both teams fairly equal in the stats right now. Buffalo Grove seems to have a bit tighter of a defense and a little more production in conference play as far as goals scored, but Elk Grove has been able to find the net throughout the season. They have their 2 top scorers here, Maggie Mayer, 8 goals, 5 assists. That's fantastic. Not just relying on her just to put the goal in the back of the net. And you got Caroline Hadler here with 6 goals and 2 assists. So it'll be good to see what kind of production they can put through this game. It's a wet one out there today. We'll see how the teams come out. It's easy to sit back in the first 10 minutes trying to see how the pace is going to be, but it'd be good to see if either team can come out here firing right away.
Well, we were going to talk about the weather. I was driving here kind of in a driving rain, and it's a bit on the chilly side. I guess if I were to turn on my phone, I would know the temperature. But it's a 44-degree day and, rainy. Now, the rain seems to have stopped right now, so it's going to be at least not in their faces, but the field is very, very wet. And, of course, we both know, and you from experience, what happens to the ball when the field is wet.
Oh, yeah. It is going to be fast out there, and tends to be players are a little bit slower in weather like this. So we'll see how they can adjust. You're going to have to be precise with those passing, or it's going to get away from you.
Now, when you played in grass and you played and we're going to call this turf, the grass obviously is slower. So how do you arrange it so that you can connect on passes both in the grass and then in the turf?
Well, depending on the length of the grass, you got to hit it a lot harder.
That's too easy. So Buffalo Grove.
On a smooth surface like this, it's going to play a lot quicker, a lot smoother.
So that play was offside. That send to the left side, number 14 from Elk Grove, Grace Illy, was offsides.
No, that was I believe that was Buffalo Grove, 14.
Yeah, I got the teams wrong already. That didn't take long.
We got Elk Grove in the green and gold going from left to right, how you see it, and Buffalo Grove in the white and white going from right to left for this first half.
So from a prediction perspective, we're looking at the goals. Both teams are 2-4. Buffalo Grove, at least within conference, has scored a lot more goals and let up about the same, whereas Elk Grove has had trouble scoring in conference. So from a prediction perspective, do you have a projection on who you think is going to win the game?
Boy, I'm going to go for it. I'll go for the home team here.
So
Even though I myself went to Conant, I will say my aunt did work here for years, and I actually practiced just in the field over here behind the stadium here, so as a kid. So I'm going to go for Elk Grove here. I'd say, we'll see how this first half goes, but I can see a 2-1.
So you're going to say a 2-1 Elk Grove win. I'll just play devil's advocate. We'll take a 3-2 Buffalo Grove win. And Buffalo Grove, even if that had gone through, would have been offside. So Elk Grove with the ball in the defense. Finally, with some ball control here. It's been pretty much one team then the other with the ball. Elk Grove on the far sideline. Goes out of bounds. I'll get a throw in from there.
See, it's been a good first 2 minutes. The pace is pretty up there. Both teams feeling each other out to see what type of game is this going to be. We'll see if it's going to be an open one or if it's going to be a little more laid back.
So Elk Grove with the ball. So far Elk Grove is winning the ball possession battle. Midfield kicks it, tries to send it to the right side, and it goes out of bounds. I would say I would expect a lot of turnovers. That's one of the reasons why both teams are 2-4. We'll see how that turns out.
And that was unfortunate just a little bit, and that's that fast pace, a little bit extra coming on those passes on a drier day that might not have gotten away so quickly.
Maggie Maher with all the goals, putting a lot of pressure on Buffalo Grove with the ball. To the right side now. Centered. We're probably going to hear Maggie Maher's name a lot in this game. Ball goes out of bounds. Elk Grove with it still. Maggie Maher. Oh, sorry, Ella Duckman with it on the throw-in. Now, Ella comes from a long line of different sports. Her sister played multiple sports at Elk Grove. I'm pretty sure she plays multiple sports here at Elk Grove. This is the first time Buffalo Grove has had any kind of sustained ball control. Tries to send it, another offsides call. The second time they tried to send it on the left. And again, Taylor Hamill is offsides. That roster from Buffalo Grove we got off the huddle.com website, and the Elk Grove roster is off the Max Preps website. We have statistics for the Elk Grove players, but we don't have statistics for the Buffalo Grove players. So it makes it a little hard to say which Buffalo Grove player is going to get those 3 goals on my 3-2 prediction.
Well, the good thing that Elk Grove does have going for them, though, even though they do have 2 scorers that are a bit ahead of the pack, they have been getting a lot of goals from throughout their whole roster here. Pretty much everyone here is netted at least a goal. Yeah, everyone either has a goal or an assist, so they're getting the team involved, and that's always good. And going back to that last play for Buffalo Grove, the AR there is calling it very close, but Buffalo Grove, from where we're sitting, and obviously the angles are a little bit different, but from where we are, where our cameras are at, that was close. That one was very close. So Elk Grove is going to have to be very, very careful not to let them get through over here on the left wing.
Well, you brought up a great point when you were talking about there's 9 players on Elk Grove who've scored goals this year, and that's a lot. Like you said, 8 from Maher, 6 from Hadler, 3 from Jonas, and it keeps going. A lot of different players have hit the ball to the back of the net.
And then you look at the players that haven't necessarily scored here, they're involved in assists, so there's not a single player on this team that hasn't been involved in at least a goal or 2 all season, and that's fantastic. You see at any level, you watching the professional levels, when you can get your midfield, your backs involved, you're going to get more production. That's the teams that you see at the top of the table.
That ball out of bounds off Buffalo Grove's Ella Halter. Finally not offsides on this near left side. Elk Grove with the ball. Turned it over right away to Buffalo Grove. Didn't take long. Buffalo Grove again trying the send it strategy. Now this ball is going to have some speed on it. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in, but all the way back in their own corner. So if Buffalo Grove puts on a good amount of, I'll say, pressure, they can get the ball back in the front of the field this time. That went out of bounds. That's the turnover they needed. Buffalo Grove finally with an offensive threat on the far side with a throw-in. See what they can do with it. So far, neither team has really put much pressure on the other team's goalie. Here's the throw-in. It's midfield turned over and intercepted by Elk Grove. Now, on your boys' teams, when you played, did you ever have the guy that did the somersault when he would throw the ball in?
We did in high school. Ooh, another very, very close offsides.
Yeah, that's 3 offsides, all on the front left.
3 on, is that number 14?
Yeah, Ella Halter. Clearly they're trying to free Ella Halter for a breakaway on the left side.
And those are looking razor thin from up here. That is going to be a problem all night for Elk Grove.
Yeah, the 4 defenders have to stay in a line to make sure that that's going to be offside. If somebody gets lazy and stays back, it will be a breakaway on one side or the other. And here she is trying to send it to nobody this time. It's kind of a quagmire here at midfield. Sent forward by Elk Grove. No connection. Buffalo Grove with the ball. Number 12, Brooke Wells sends it forward. Same place as last time. This time it won't have enough to go out of bounds, so the goalie's going to have to pick this up, although it's outside the box now. Kind of a centering pass I don't know that I would have done. Pushed up on the far side.
Goalie's got to have a lot of faith in their defenders with that one, but it paid off. And, you don't want to just blast it down the field every time, or you're going to just end up turning it over. So attempt to make a little bit of connection, play it out from the back. It's, you see it a lot more in the game now, especially even off of goal kicks. It's a dangerous strategy because sometimes you just get continually stuck down in your own end, and that when you can't clear your lines, when you can't get it up the field, give your goalie, give your players time to reset, you're just going to be in a heap of trouble.
Yeah, and you don't want to make a mistake in a 0-0 game. Both teams look like they've got the strategy there where they want to send the ball. Certainly Buffalo Grove, and you know who they're targeting here, Halter on the left. Elk Grove similarly. It's not a whole lot of ball control at midfield. They're looking to, here's going to be another send attempt. This one's onside. Very good position. Number 13, Camel with the ball. Finally, Elk Grove gets it and puts it up back to midfield. But both teams like to send it.
And that's it's a very viable strategy. They're playing on a big field now. Oh, another offside.
Yeah,
that one wasn't quite as close, but it's a good step. The Elk Grove back line is doing a good job. They're staying in sync. They're stepping up. They're keeping that line. They're doing fantastic, but unfortunately, it just takes one miss, one step, one late step by one defender.
Well, and this is a 2-4 team playing well on defense. Of course, I guess they're playing another 2-4 team, but it makes you wonder then if their defense is going to be that good, why are they losing to the better teams at the moment? But you're right. We're up to, 4 offsides now from Buffalo Grove?
Yeah. And that could be something they've been working on. That could be something that would have been plaguing them all season. And, it's a viable strategy. We're playing on a field here. This is 120 yards. Now, in soccer, the field can be in a range. It doesn't always have to be. I believe the range is 100 to 140. Maybe 120 is the max. I don't have my FIFA book in front of me. But there is a range. This is a big field to play on. This is a lot of ground to cover. And you can't just sit back. So you're going to have to cover a lot of ground. It's going to be a lot of ground to cover for both teams going back and forth. So, you'd expect once the ball gets into a third of the field, it's probably going to stay there for quite a bit.
Well, I like what Elk Grove is doing here. They've got control of the ball. They've kept it on the offensive part of the field for a little while here. A lot of ball control until, of course, now I started talking announcers jinx and they lost it. Buffalo Grove kicked it upfield. Elk Grove back with it again with a throw-in.
It was a good run of possession here, though. It was good. They were stringing together a few passes. You can see it coming together, and that's what it's going to take. It's
been some hard work from Ella Duckman and Maggie Maher in the midfield in the center there. So looks like that's where Elk Grove's offense is going to get generated from, right from there, and maybe a crossing pass or that's going to have to be how they score their first goal. But looks like Buffalo Grove's strategy is to send Halter to the left, and Elk Grove's strategy is to put a little bit of sustained offensive pressure. It was always fun to watch the kids' games, too. It was the teams that played keep away with the ball that always won. Here's another send. This one onside, but no control on it.
Yeah, that was just a hair behind. That was good. Good run. Good thought. Let's see if she steps back.
She stepped back. This is onside. She's going to go out of bounds.
You know, I want to say it looked like she kind of cut her run off a little. I think she was expecting that flag to go up, but I think she actually was being kept onside as Elk Grove had been falling back.
Well, I was actually watching her, too, and she was offside for most of the time, but she got onside right when the kick got made, which is the key, and she did get back onside, but then the ball just went, the pitch, as we say, right, is a little bit jolted on the side, and it went out of bounds. It's not a flat field, right, for drainage.
The pitch on the pitch?
Yeah, the pitch on the pitch.
Let's see Buffalo Grove, see if they can get it in the middle on the throw.
Again, just no offensive pressure yet from Buffalo Grove. They're going to rely totally, it appears to be, on one of those sends and get a breakaway toward the net. So when they do get it, and there will be an exciting time when that happens, will they score on it? My prediction is they're going to get 3 goals. How are they going to do that? 3 times that way? Your prediction has Elk Grove with 2 goals, and nobody scored yet. Onside, but too hard. See, that's that fast.
It's going to be tough. It's going to take them. Let's see, we're about 13, 14 minutes in here. They're still getting a feel for the pace of the ball. You know, obviously Elk Grove, this is their home field, but they're not playing on it consistently enough to know what it's going to be like in these conditions. So it's going to take a little time to see what happens. And I think, fortunately, like you said, the rain has died down. I think the wind has also died down a bit here. So, a nice move.
Yeah, some good footwork from Campbell.
Oh, it's in the goal. It took an unfortunate skip for Elk Grove right there. That's the pitch. That's the wet field, the wet ball. It's going to take skips. It's going to take bounces, and a ball you expect is going to bounce maybe a little bit higher is going to end up going through and just kind of skipping like a stone.
Well, we can call it what you want. At the same time, that shot was about, 25 yards out, and it was skipped and went in. Great shot from kind of a long way away, and that's the first goal of the game. Buffalo Grove with a 1-0 lead on their first quality shot of the game.
And I think that's the first shot either team has had, and we'll see how Grove can respond.
Right, that would be maddening, a shot like that goes in. Well, but that was Buffalo Grove's strategy. Well, maybe not Buffalo Grove's strategy. It was a good shot from the middle of the field, 25 yards away.
You know, she had the space. It was a nice move to get room, get it out. I have noticed, you know, the players are
onside again.
Bit.
This time Elk Grove defender wins the speed battle there, kicks it away, out of bounds. I don't know. I think the goalie could have picked that up. Maybe she got a little bit in the way of the Buffalo Grove player. She could have gotten control to the goalie. But anyway, Buffalo Grove throwing it in from out of bounds, this time on the near side. Centered.
Let's see if they can bring it down and control it, see if they can move up. Nice move by Mia Jones there, trying to control it. See if they can get some shape back.
Kicked it out of bounds, yeah. Buffalo Grove with the ball, throwing on the near side again. So when you played, did you have set plays from these throw-ins on the side?
Well, we did, as you asked earlier. Did we ever have a flip throw-in? We did. Ryan Baker, who I went to high school with, had an excellent flip throw, and I mean, he could really get it in there. It turned every throw. Looked like a bit of a handball there, but.
That's what everybody says, but the ref didn't flag it.
The referee didn't whistle it. We were going to play on. But, yeah, the long throw-in, sometimes you can get a player who can really, really whip one in even without the flip. And we would run some plays, you know. I will say, you know, the running a play on a corner kick is a good strategy, a good common one. I can't tell you if it ever worked very well for us.
Well, but the point, though, is you did have set plays. Now, Hadler with the ball in the middle of the field here. It's the first time we called her name, but lost it, unfortunately. Elk Grove again going toward the middle of the net, kind of where the Buffalo Grove goal got scored from. Here's another send attempt. If Buffalo Grove's got some speed, they can get to the ball, but it's going to go out of bounds. Yeah, the ball's faster than the player here, unfortunately. So Elk Grove with the throw in.
But once again, they're deep in their own end. They did a nice job last time getting it out, controlling it, not just booting it up the field, but it doesn't do you any good to control it in your own third if you can't get it forward.
Yeah, Ella Duckman with the throw-in. She also had the goalie kick earlier. She's all over the field. They rely on her a lot, offensively and defensively. That's what happens when you're a midfielder. When I tried to do midfield, it was a long run from one end to the other. It's hard to do. Buffalo Grove in a good spot, centering pass.
Nicely intercepted, broke it up, but unfortunately just gave
There's
it right
your
back
handball.
away. That was, and the referee whistled it.
Yeah, that one just simply stopped inadvertently by the arm, but it did stop the ball. The referee blew the whistle. We got a free kick. Duckman again on the ball. I think she used to play on this team with her sister. Good boot. Centered. Brooke Wells with the ball. Forwarded. It's going to stay in play.
That is
It's a race for it. Duckman ran.
nicely done.
Yeah, glands off the
By
ball. I think that
Duckman,
is. Yeah, good defense.
That was fantastic way to keep that out. Looked like Buffalo Grove was going to get an opportunity there when it stayed in on the end, but went out harmlessly for a goal kick.
And again, Duckman with the goal kick.
You know, I don't know how they do it every week. If it's usually Duckman taking the goal kicks as opposed to the goalie, but you know, in weather like this, all the more reason have a player back there to take the kick. You don't want to risk your goalie slipping, shanking one right into opposing player.
So
I mean,
instead, we're going to risk Duckman's injury, right? I'm kidding.
Well, I'm thinking more on the easy, letting in an easy opportunity.
There's a foul from behind by Carolyn Hadler. Apparently, she pushed into.
Maybe just left a little bit of the boot in there, getting to the ball, but
Looks like that's a 23 on the back of her jersey. So push from behind. Cora Kipley was the recipient of the push. So we got to say Hadler's name again, but this time on a foul call.
well, here's
Right.
here's an interesting development. Buffalo Grove has their goalie up. She must have the
Big boot. And
That
it is
was
a
a
big boot.
very
Centered
nice
perfectly.
ball.
And I see why they do that. Now
Nicely,
she's got to
yeah.
run all the way back.
nice play in, nice defense. They stayed with it, read it nicely, and
Well, I feel
cleared
like
it out.
Yeah, I feel like okay. So the goalie comes up with a very unique play, the free kick from about the 30-yard line, which is 40 yards away from the goal. But then Buffalo Grove had 3 defenders back. I'm thinking if you're going to push the goalie up to make that free kick, put some offense up there too. Interesting.
Yeah, that is a good point, because that's the question: is it worth it to have so few numbers? Nicely stepped in.
Yeah, that was Duckman. She did a good defensive play to spoil the offensive threat from Camel.
Oh, just a bit. Well read by Buffalo Grove.
Yeah, off of Hadler, she got the ball back. Excellent hustle there. Nobody can blame her for not hustling.
No, that's a lot of ground to cover to come back and win that again.
Elk Grove with some front court pressure again. Looking for Hadler on the side. Not enough control, but went out of bounds, and still Elk Grove's ball will be a throw-in. Now this would be when they want to run a set piece, like you said, but there's nobody doing somersaults.
The
Elk
key,
Grove with
the
the
key
ball.
on the let's see.
No call on that. None. So it went out of bounds,
Yeah, unfortunately, I think she just looked like she lost her footing.
which is
Not
easy
much
to
on
do.
the tackle.
Yeah, it's easy to
for a
lose your
foul
footing
there.
in this turf.
Oh yeah, but
Now we'll see how good her boot is from the goal kick area.
that will be good to see. So Elk Grove, I'd say though, they've responded nicely to going down. They've been pushing a bit more. Let's see if they can get anything from it. But Buffalo Grove, like you said, they've been playing on the quick counter long ball play. you're going to have to constantly be on your toes because that play can flip on you real quickly. 1 minute you're pushing, the next minute
Well, so Elk Grove
goalie sends it down the field, and you're in a battle. You're in a race.
So Elk Grove has the ball again. They're a free kicker. Duckman with the ball against the wind. She'll probably try to center it and look for a header. Let's see what happens. Ooh, she's direct kick, just wide. So she took a direct kick from there, trying to beat the goalie. And hit the near side. It'll be a free kick for Buffalo Grove now. Duckman trying to make that shot from about, 40 yards out. She's got a good kick herself, that's for sure.
She definitely had enough on it. I think she just mishit it just a bit. But, I mean, clearly she's shown that is
this will be
good
offsides
3-4
again.
steps off sides. But
Buffalo Grove's got to work on that. They've what? I think I've tallied, 5 offsides now? This time was on the far side instead of the near side. Duckman back with the ball.
yeah, but, it's one of the things that always has been nice tackle.
Yeah, she had the ball first. Player now Hadley with it.
From here, it was all ball. I can't speak to how it looked on the field, but
Here we go. It's going to be another offsides call? Nope. Here she goes. Off to the races. Excellent defense.
That was a very, very heads-up play by Buffalo Grove. Let's see what.
Well, Casey Wattis. Casey
number
Wattis.
12. She was offsides. She knew it, and she stopped and let her take it all the way herself. And it did seem to have Elk Grove a little on their heels for a minute there, kind of looking for that offsides, and you can't rely on that. Is what I was going to say. After this corner.
Casey Wattis had to come back and break that up. Great hustle from, I think, the volleyball player. If I remember right, I think I remember seeing her on the roster. The corner kick goes onto the far side. A long shot going wide, so we're going to get a goal kick here from Elk Grove.
Looks like our first substitution of the day. Let's see, we got Darian Kazakski coming in for Elk Grove alongside, I believe, is that Azul Raskin? Number 11 and number 17 entering the game, with Sophia Grace, I believe, taking a rest, and I did not see who the other player was who exited.
Anyway, Hadler got the ball at midfield, went out of bounds. Buffalo Grove will throw it in. Looks like number 11, Glanz will throw it in. Hannah Glanz. Buffalo Grove making the substitution. 18 out. Casares?
Yeah, Buffalo Grove's definitely pushing that through ball, long ball situation, and the referees have done a good job calling the offsides.
Yeah, you got to be alert on those.
As you'll see, even in the professional level, there are plenty of missed calls, and we don't have the advantage of VAR here, so you're going to have to. You put a lot of faith in the assistant referee to make sure that he or she gets that call.
This is trouble
every time. Yep.
This started with the turnover from Duckman. She kicked the ball, and then Buffalo Grove was able to turn it and almost had a breakaway out front. So that kick probably needed to send it more to the sidelines than right to a Buffalo Grove player in the middle of the court, and I think it's probably one of those understatements. Headed outside the box and kicked right back into the box, headed back outside the box again. Here we go, on we play. Elk Grove with the ball on the far side now, finally, with some control. Stolen by Buffalo Grove and stolen back from Elk Grove. A lot of turnovers, sent upfield, and Buffalo Grove intercepts it. Back and forth we go. Elk Grove on the far side pushes it forward. Nice touch pass. Continuing along the far side. This is a good way to move the ball forward. Now bringing it into the middle and a pass and a turnover. If they got to reduce those turnovers, here's probably a send attempt coming. They're saying onside still. This is a breakaway. This is what Buffalo Grove's been waiting for all game. And stopped by the Elk Grove goalie.
Now, I will say that one was a bit of a one for me. That once again, you got number 23 for Buffalo Grove has been making a lot of runs in an offside position, but she's pulling off her runs in favor of letting someone else go through.
Well, that was a breakaway attempt. She almost had that goal.
Yeah.
That was Halter.
I don't love that personally. You know, there is the rule that an offsides player, if they're interfering with the play, even if they don't actually play it, if they're deemed to be interfering with the play, they will still be called for offsides. That one right there was getting a little bit close to that for me, because you can see she's making a move towards the ball and then cuts off her run, but that's pulling the Elk Grove defenders in because they have to cover her, leaving a lot of open space for her teammate to run onto it.
So in the meantime, Elk Grove has a corner kick. Duckman cross field. Oh, what a great pass! If it just didn't connect, definitely had some mustard on that pass. Can't tell the number on the. It's hard to see, right? Couldn't tell who the pass was to the receiving end, but that was a great centering pass on the far post. Just didn't connect.
Good use of a shorter corner there. Really caught Buffalo Grove off guard, but just didn't quite get that connection at the end. But
so back
very
out
promising stuff. Both teams have had some very, very good looking offensive pushes.
In the meantime, with only 13 minutes left, right? Just still a 1-0 game. Good stab out of the air. That was Mia Jonas. Hadler centered. This is broken up nicely by Buffalo Grove. Moved upfield. Duckman back, taking the ball back on the defensive line, pushing up a little bit. Far side. Again, I like the sustained ball control. Went out of bounds. They'll get to toss it in. We'll see what play they use on this one. I suspect they'll just go back to the defense and then turn it from one side to the other. We'll see. Duckman with the ball. Tries the 40-yard. Did they hit the post or the goal post?
I think that hit the football upright.
Yeah,
there,
so it'll be a goal kick. That was quite the boot from
Duckman
30 yards out.
With a fantastic shot. I mean, she can rip those shots, and on a day like today.
So tell her what she needs to do. She was about 2 or 3 feet too high, so she was 40 yards away. How does she get that 2 or 3 feet of elevation out of that kick?
One of the most common ways you do is you want to lean forward. If you have your shoulders lean back, you're going to go high. You got to get over the ball, connect.
Here we go. Camel on a breakaway, far side. Elk Grove's defense gets back. And nice defense. Kicks it upfield. Elk Grove with it. See if they go upfield on the right side here. Some good footwork. Oh, then out of bounds. That was just a simple mistake. Mia Jonas tried to do one too many moves with the ball. It went out of bounds. Glands with the throw-in on the sideline here for Buffalo Grove. Centers it. Push from behind, but Wells maintains control. Stolen by Elk Grove. It goes out of bounds on the far side. Oh, here's a name. I'll just say Anita throwing the ball in. I think the Buffalo Grove fans will know why I didn't pronounce that name. Elk Grove with the steal. It's centered. They're going to take it up more deliberately than a send. I like it. Oop, I lied. Here's the send. Goes right to the goalie.
Seemed like a bit of a miscommunication there. Weren't sure if they were going to do more direct or a little more balanced approach, but harmlessly into the keeper's arms. And now once again, Buffalo Grove, quick counterattack. They're wasting no time on a direct attack.
But that's that turnover again. I'd like to see both teams be a little bit more precise on the passes, a few less turnovers. That name was Mikolazik. That's Anita.
Now
all right, so free kick here.
Dangerous location here.
Yeah, number 23, Cora Kipley with the free kick. 30 yards away from the goal. So players have been trying, with the wind here, this might be a good shot or a good try for just a direct kick on net, see for a rebound or just flat out a goal. No goalie kick from here this time. There's the kick. She did keep it down. Duckman again got in the way of that one. And Elk Grove with the ball on the far side, kind of with certainly don't have numbers on this rush. It's like a 2-on-5, so I think if I were them, I'd slow it down. But no, instead it's centered and lost.
Buffalo Grove is not committing too many forward. I know they have the...
Depends who gets it. One of these players is offside, yeah.
I think you got at least 2 of them offside on that one. But once again, it's still dangerous to play against because that is a quick turnover or quick turnaround from the turnover, getting it up and getting it down the field. And Buffalo Grove doesn't seem to be lacking any speed, especially on the left side here.
So Duckman with the free kick right in front of us. Uses her right foot that time. Headed out to the far side. Buffalo Grove with it. A whiff on the kick. You don't see that too often. Elk Grove with the ball on the far side. Is it going to go out of bounds? No. Some nifty footwork from Buffalo Grove to keep it in. Elk Grove with it, centering it. And bounced a little too far. You got to control that pass. Wells wound up with it, kicked it forward. Elk Grove with it. Wells again with the ball. And again, here's the send. That's a breakaway for Halter.
And that was beautifully timed. She timed her run perfectly that time.
The pass went a little too close to the sideline, so Elk Grove did get back, centered. And now Elk Grove with it again. Jonas centers it. Hadley. Back to Jonas. I like this deliberate passing here. There's a send opportunity, but I like that they're bringing it up more deliberately, although Jonas is a little one-on-one here and finally loses it. Yes. Well, but they gets a throw-in from the front.
Yeah.
That worked. That's what you want to do.
I love to see it. You taking the ball down, you're going to lose it. You're not going to dribble through everybody every time. You're going to lose the ball sometimes, but you stuck with the play, and now you got a throw-in in a dangerous position.
Yeah, Maher had it, passed it over to Duckman for the throw-in. Deep in the goalie box. No control yet from anybody. Now Elk Grove with it. Hadley takes a kind of a pot shot from a little too far away. Got the side of the ball. Hasn't gone out yet. The goalie picked it up and stepped outside the box. Let's see if they call anything. Nope. The referee let it go. Here's the boot. And it's downfield. So the goalie had a little bit too much momentum and carried the ball outside the box, and the referee just let her get away with it. Elk Grove with the ball on the far side. Now back on defense. Whoops, that pass didn't connect. Look out. Here goes the send. No, I fully expected a send attempt on that. Elk Grove's defense struggling with holding onto the ball here. Buffalo Grove putting on some good pressure. Far side throw in.
And I have to wonder if we'll see if Buffalo Grove is going to commit anyone else forward. I mean, a few of these opportunities, they do seem to be putting enough pressure on, but they're holding enough back. Maybe they're protecting that lead a little bit, maybe a little hesitant to have a breakaway quick counter attack going the other way, but the amount of pressure, the success they've had with just the players pressuring on Elk Grove's back line, maybe time to add another one or two up going forward. Their goal came off of a turnover in the back and a shot from outside the box. So, I mean, that's what you'd be looking for. You take it away from the defense, and then one or two up front, they don't have anyone to play to.
So Casey Wadis coming back for the ball, just kicks upfield up to Duckman. She missed it this time. Back to Duckman.
But yeah, once again, we are talking though about a very, very long field. It's going to get harder and harder as the game goes on to cover that much distance.
Well, especially for Duckman, I think she's run 6 miles already in the first 3 quarters of the first half.
Yeah, and
there she is again. But this got past her, and this is an onside breakaway.
Yeah.
Buffalo Grove, Camel with the ball. She's danger, Will Robinson, and hits the side of the net. It did not go in. She had a wide open halter on the left. It was basically a 2-on-0 against the goalie. Good luck with that, and she kicked it wide. Duckman back with the ball. Elk Grove coach cannot be happy with how that breakdown happened.
no, it was
They dodged the bullet and almost a 2-0 lead. But it's 1-0, 6 minutes to go. So kind of reset with that. You're only down a goal, Elk Grove. And you have the ball. Hadley. Hadler. Far side. Duckman more of a midfield role, even though she plays defense. Nice footwork there to get the ball back. Forwarded to nobody. Buffalo Grove with it. Out of bounds. And it'll be Elk Grove's ball. Again, just a lot of turnovers. Back and forth we go. Number 17, Darian Kozecki with the ball. That's a guess on the pronunciation. Kozecki. A lot of letters in there. Duckman lost the ball. Some good pressure. There's going to be another offsides call. Yeah, Camel was offside. I think Buffalo Grove would do well to just really focus on where that defensive line is. Try to stay onside as much as possible because we're up to like 6 or 7 offside calls. And any one of those, if they were just 2 feet, 3 feet, maybe 2 meters, 2 yards back, it'd be a breakaway.
Let's see if Elk Grove can get on the end of that.
Yeah, it's a good save.
Covered.
Yeah, I like that the goalie went after that and covered it. She could have let that go out. But instead, you get the goalie kick here. Good control of the ball. She doesn't wait for anybody to move downfield, boots it all the way out to midfield. She does have a good kick. Back to Duckman on defense, who kicks it forward kind of randomly. Who's going to get this? Probably Buffalo Grove. Some good ball control there. Stolen back, Hadler, I'm sorry. Good steal from Buffalo Grove. This time they're sending it to the right and relying on speed, but nothing doing with Wadis on defense there. She's got some speed in her own right.
Based on the shape they're holding right now, Buffalo Grove almost seems content to go into the locker room at halftime 1-up, 1-0. They don't seem to be wanting to let anything go, but I think in that last push forward there was maybe 2, maybe a third player joining in late.
Well, if you were coaching Buffalo Grove, what would you be doing with a 1-0 lead and 3 minutes to go in the first half? What would you do?
I mean, I would be pushing to get that second goal. You just came off of a good breakaway opportunity. Elk Grove is yet to register a shot on target. I mean,
so you would push more.
I would be willing. I would say throw another player forward, put a little more pressure. You've had great success pressuring the back line, and Elk Grove's success has come when they've had time to maintain and control. They've done a nice job controlling the ball in possession, but I mean, if I'm Buffalo Grove, I'd say put a little more pressure on them. See if you can get another breakaway opportunity before the end of the half. Go in there.
All right, so we got 3 minutes left here in the first half. Now you're going to put on the Elk Grove coaching hat. You're down a goal. Hadler with the ball. Gosh, I got to get that right. Sorry, Hadler.
The one thing I'd say, and this would go for probably honestly for both teams, I'd like to see them just kind of stretch the game out from touchline to touchline. They're playing very narrowly, which seems like when we get in, we're only using about half the field here. I know it's a big field. I get that. I've played there. It is tough to cover that much ground for 40 minutes.
So you'd have both teams pushing forward to try to score.
Push it forward,
right.
Stretch the game out, go wide.
So
both teams have had success on the wings getting down, but
I mean, I don't want to extrapolate it to the end here, but so far it's been a lot of soccer in the midfield area, and only one kick made it into the net, and really only one quality shot on goal. So,
right,
I mean, we could be talking about a 1-0 game here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that there, that would have been a really good opportunity you had. I can't see who that is, number 11. You had Azul Raskin on the line out there. See if she can get out on the wing. Whoever's on the wing, play it out to the wing, cross it in, and see what you can get. It's a slippery, cold day, as we even saw on the one goal. Get a shot on goal.
Here's
get a shot on goal. You cross it in the middle. You get it into the penalty box, and keep the pressure up. Something's going to happen.
So the ball went out of bounds on the far side. Elk Grove with it back, gets the throw in. So they've only got a minute to go or so in the first half to try to get the equalizing goal. And it'll be interesting to see if both teams listen to you and both teams decide to push more, as you say, stretch the field and push the ball up. Elk Grove, again, kicked that one out of bounds, another turnover.
You know, they must be listening to me because at least they were looking to do it. They're looking to try to get those wingers released out there, get the ball up. Neither team is having a great deal of success trying to move it in the middle.
Hadler with the steal and then giving up again.
Playing it pretty tight in the midfield, like you said. A lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions.
There's another send on the far side. This send, Wells is after it. She's not going to get it. Again, the fast field victimizing the ball. So the pass goes to the far side. The fast field takes it out of bounds. But there was another case where you could argue they were listening to you. Or they were trying to get the ball from one side to the other.
And early on, Buffalo Grove on the left wing, they were offsides, I think, about every time. But just loosening, waiting and just a step here. they were having a lot of success getting in down the wing, and
Okay, Wells with the ball. Just boots it up into the air and out of bounds.
That should
Using up
take
the
us-
end of that'll use up the clock, and we are at the end of the first half. So final comments before we go into the break. What are you thinking?
well, if I was just looking at the game, I would make a guess that Elk Grove has had a bit more of the possession, but Buffalo Grove has shown that you don't need the possession to win a game or to be leading. Stats are stats. Goals are the only thing that matters. But based on my tally here, I think Buffalo Grove has had the lion's share of the shots on target, offsides too. But it's open out there.
All right, so there's 9:46 to go at the halftime. We'll take a little bit of a break here and be back for the beginning of the second half. Okay, we are back for the second half here between Elk Grove and Buffalo Grove. Elk Grove is behind by 1 goal, and there's been 1 quality shot on net the whole entire game so far. So the question is, when we switch sides, maybe the wind is going to have an effect, and maybe Elk Grove can get some of those, maybe a shot on net, and that can go in. Now, we had a lot of discussion during that 10-minute break, a lot of fun stuff. We'll be bringing out some of that discussion as the players come out. But the first one that comes to mind is, you were saying that maybe you'd like to see a smaller field.
Yeah, it's hard. As I said earlier in the broadcast, soccer has a range, and how long, how wide the field can be. It's tough. At the high school level, yeah, you always want to play. It's always good to play at the same level as the pros, but you don't tend to always see that across the field in all sports. Now, I would say one of the great things about soccer is it doesn't matter if it's men's, women's, everybody plays. They play with the same size ball, the same size goal, and the same size field, and that's fantastic. But at the high school level, there's a lot of ground to cover, and you can just see the game kind of is another good opportunity here just went away. But the game
is offsides. Yeah, this has been the story of the game so far. Buffalo Grove is offsides like every time, and again, it's on the left side. So Elk Grove back with the ball. Now, we were also talking about halftime adjustments. For example, Elk Grove, I might be thinking, you're down a goal, put Duckman on offense, or at least forward, and between Duckman, Hadler, and Maher, maybe they can scramble and get a goal, and then rely a little bit more on defense from Casey Wattis. That might be a strategy. On the other hand, you could end up losing 2-0 just as easily as you could tie it up 1-1. But whether you lose 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0, you've got to get a goal to tie the game up. Then similarly, if you're Buffalo Grove, we were talking about it. We were saying maybe they want to go into a little bit more of a defensive shell, unless of course they get the opportunity for another send in the goal, and preferably not an offside. So the adjustments now. Now we got to see what adjustments do you think they made, and can we tell this early? Right now, Buffalo Grove with the ball on the far side. Halter got pushed. Now, the key, something that we didn't realize until we looked at the ages at halftime, right? So Halter, number 14, is a freshman, or at least she's listed as a freshman. Brooke Wells, number 12, she's also listed as a freshman. So one would think, Buffalo Grove soccer has a very, very bright future. Conversely, on the Buffalo Grove team, they have 7 seniors, and Elk Grove only has 3 seniors, so Buffalo Grove would have the edge on experience. So experience and 2 phenomenally good new freshmen. So Buffalo Grove has kind of a mix of veterans and freshmen on the team.
That was a nice look to send the ball back over. I'd like to see more of that. Unfortunately, they lost control.
There's another send, but again, Wattis back to spoil it. She can, and she, so far has. And then Duckman came back with the... here's the side.
It dropped right to Buffalo Grove, but great cover.
She ran her off the ball beautifully. I can't tell the numbers on the other side, but excellent defense to run her off the ball. A little risky inside the goalie box, but well done defensively.
Let's see if Elk Grove can keep this counterattack pace up. I'd like to see him keep the pressure up for one of only the few times Buffalo Grove committed numbers forward. It'd be good to see if they could take advantage of that.
Well, Maher had the ball for a moment, now lost it, and then back to 23. Kipleaf sends it forward. Again, no offsides call. The goalie's racing out to get it, boots it away. This is centered. This could be trouble. Nobody's in front of the net, but the kick went way wide. Buffalo Grove has to be kicking themselves on that one. There's probably a pun in there somewhere. They're kicking themselves. But that ball went wide. And Elk Grove is going to have the ball on the side with a throw-in, narrowly dodging that bullet. But Elk Grove has to, I don't want to say pull the goalie, but they have to be a lot more aggressive to get this game tied. They've only got, 30-some-odd minutes to go. We see the ball in Maher's hands again a little bit more.
Yeah,
On the far
I think
side.
what they're going to have to do is be more comfortable committing the players forward and making sure they're going to get back, because as we've seen, as you saw in that last one, even though Buffalo Grove only committed about 3 players forward, it still ended up at the foot of one of their forwards. And if there had been another player to work with, it wouldn't have been so easy for Elk Grove to just recover.
Well, we might have seen one adjustment there from Buffalo Grove. They know they have the lead. They have a lot of clock to kill, right? But Elk Grove had the ball, and Buffalo Grove was very, very content just to kick it out of bounds, let Elk Grove have control of the ball on the far side. But time ticking and the play not moving forward, Buffalo Grove was all right with that. Now we have a corner kick.
Yeah, we have Elk Grove has a corner kick.
This
Buffalo Grove has everyone except for the lone center forward number 10 up back here. Elk Grove has opted to leave 2 back.
Yeah, they cleared that nicely. As you said, there were a lot of defenders back there for Buffalo Grove, so they got to the ball first. Now Hadler has it in the defensive zone here. Some good ball control, but gave it away on a turnover. Now here's going to be a send attempt. You see this coming. There it goes. And the ref is the sideline judge saying onside. Look out. Here's going to be a 2-0 lead here in a second. Good move. Open net. This will go right in.
Unfortunately, from where we're sitting, I think the AR missed one on that one.
I think when you play the replay, I'm with you. The referee on the sideline did not call offsides, and I think that play was offsides by yards. We had a hockey goal that got called back like in overtime or something, maybe not in overtime, but a real late hockey game goal that was called back the other night. Replay saved the day on that one.
Another goal.
So that goal happened with about 35 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 35-21 to go.
I believe the goal scorer was at number 13 on Buffalo Grove.
Right, that'd be Taylor Camel, her second goal. She's got both goals.
But like I was saying earlier in the first half, all it takes is the referee to miss one call. It was well taken,
Well, we're
taken in there.
Yeah, we're banking on the ref missing the call. You have to see the replay to be sure, but I think both of us said that was offsides.
Yeah, either way, of course we're not sitting dead on the line, but either way, it was well taken by Buffalo Grove in there, well put away.
A kick wide from Maher, trying to get one of the goals back real quick. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Elk Grove. Obviously, it's the old cliche, right? But you can't get the whole game tied on one kick now. So they're going to have to really, really dig down and hustle.
And we'll see how many players. Buffalo Grove seem to be committing a few more players forward in the first 5 minutes here. We'll see if they stick with that.
Well, they got 4 defenders back. Here's another send attempt. Casey's back on the ball right away. Kicked out of bounds. Should be Elk Grove's ball. Yeah, very impressed with Casey Wattis' defense. Speedy back. Duckman still playing defense, so that adjustment wasn't made. Nice pass back, some good ball control here. Run off the ball. Stephanie DeReal was run off the ball. Oh, Buffalo Grove with it.
Plenty of space in the middle here. Let's see where she.
Kipley, another send. This time the referee catches it. Offsides. Boy,
unfortunately, I think they're going with. Well, the ball was getting all the way over out of that other end. I thought she was onside. But once again, we don't have the advantage of being right there on the line, being even with the players. The angles can get a little...
Well, what we do have is an advantage of the elevation. We are looking somewhat down on the field, so we have a pretty good view. Good kick. This will be a one hopper to the goalie. It's easy catch, and the goal kick upcoming.
I like the idea, though. Elk Grove does need to get a little more direct. They've had some good runs of possession, but they need to get a shot on goal. They haven't tested Buffalo Grove's keeper yet, and
Do you count that as a shot on goal, a one hopper from 60 yards away?
I won't. Not necessarily. Maybe if a statistician might count that as a shot. A lot of times, like I said, stats are important, but you can't. There's a lot of obsession right now in pretty much all sports to break everything down by statistics.
Yeah, the advanced analytics, right?
Obviously in baseball it has a lot of value. I don't think you can put quite so much in soccer with that. I know the big one now is XG, expected goals, where they take your shots, possession, put it through a formula, and tell you how many goals you're supposed to have. But
well, right now Elk Grove is not going to score goals. They've got 2 or 3 people up, and everybody else back on defense. So they need to, I think, slow it down. But there's a 1-on-5.
Yeah, they need more players forward. That's all there is to it.
This is booted. Another send attempt over Duckman's head, but again, Wadis back on defense, clears it to the side.
But the only thing I'll say about that two-hopper was at least they were getting it up there. They're getting the ball up there.
And Duckman on the attack also next to Maher. So Duckman's running another 6 miles this half, it looks like. Del Real forward. Maher gets pushed from behind, maintains possession, no call. Pushed back, Hadler with it into the center, kicks it to the right. Del Real back to Hadler, centered, and Buffalo Grove got it booted out. Plucked out of midair.
Not quite cleared,
yeah.
But unfortunately it's going to run out of bounds.
Fiorito got it, but you got to control the ball there, not just boot it out of bounds. You lost control. There's a turnover, but what was that, about 6 passes in a row for Elk Grove?
Yeah, once again, very good possession. Looks like we have Sophia Grace coming out of the game in favor of Darian Kozeski. We'll see if this change is it's a quick change, but it's been about 10 minutes here. Let's see if this is to push a little more forward or.
Well, Maher with the ball at midfield
after
the goal kick. Pushes it to the right. Looks like Hadler centered back, but another turnover and booted out of. Well, I thought it was booted out of bounds. Buffalo Grove with the ball on the far side. Another send. This is onside, but when it's onside, you can count on Kelsey Wadis to get the ball back. Booted up forward to Del Real. Whoops.
Ooh. Good.
Buffalo Grove was able to get it back. Some good defense from Kipley on just the lack of holding onto the ball, I guess you'd have to say.
Miscommunication. You got to talk out there.
Well, I think she thought she had more time and just lost it, right? But Buffalo Grove now, free kick at midfield. Elk Grove is pushed pretty far up.
Surprising that Buffalo Grove, that they're committing the players forward. And I mean, Elk Grove right now, I'd like to see him come a little faster out of this.
We need the chess clock to see, is the ball in this half of the field or that half of the field more? Right now, the ball is on the right side still, and Elk Grove needs it to be forward to the left.
Miles of space over here. As we were discussing at halftime, it'd be good. That's a beautiful.
Yeah, it looks onside again. Let's see if Kelsey can run her down. Good kick, just wide. But again,
good recovery, good possession. But that was an excellent run by Buffalo Grove.
Yeah, Wadis got back in time and spoiled that shot. So if they're going to continue to send it, if Wadis stays back middle, it's always at least going to be one defender they got to get around.
Yeah.
Very, very quick defender.
But at the very least, Buffalo Grove is timing their runs very well this second half. Looks like they're just with potentially exception on the one, but
yeah,
either way, they're gonna eventually, even without any calls, the back line for Elk Grove is going to get tired every time. Even the ones that eventually get called for offsides, you're still covering that ground. You're still making those steps. You're still tracking back. It's going to fatigue you.
Elk Grove with the throw-in from outside. So they get to take a little rest now, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Here's the throw-in along the near side. Push to Del Real. Booted kind of randomly to midfield.
But
Hadley trying to get her beat on the ball, but getting pushed out of her line a little bit. And out of bounds, but Buffalo Grove kicked it out, so it'll be Elk Grove's throw
Here we
in.
go. I like the quick throw in. Let's see if they can.
Oh, there's the turnover coming. Nope, they held on.
They held on, but unfortunately, it did give Buffalo Grove just enough time to come back and recover their shape. But I'd like to see them keep the pressure up, keep it coming quickly.
Far side throwing again. Let's see if they have anything. This time they're taking their time with throwing it in, looking for an open player. Centered. A lot of defenders in the way, though.
Unfortunately, there's really no one in the middle either.
Yeah, there's a shot on. I guess it qualifies as a shot on, but an easy save. You prefer that to be a cross past the far post. Headed forward by Buffalo Grove. Played a great game. Cora Kipley pushes it forward. Back to Wells. Wonderful future. Good good ball handling there. Again, Wadis is the only defender back. It was a brief 3-on-1, but it's a wide field. Wadis confidently with the ball on defense. Boots it forward. And it goes out of bounds. Took a kind of a high skip. Tough one to control. But Buffalo Grove has the ball at midfield rather than the 3-on-1 coming at you. With only 26 minutes to go, Elk Grove is going to have a little bit more sense of urgency to get this game tied up.
I'd say one of the other things that we were discussing, how Buffalo Grove had quite a few freshmen. I want to point out, too, Elk Grove also has is equally young and upcoming team, if not even more so, with, let's see, 4 freshmen and 6 sophomores coming and a couple of juniors. So I'd like to see next season what they can come back with. See the team grow together. Like I said, they've had a lot of really good possession. They just unfortunately have been missing the connections in the final third to get a good opportunity on goal.
Well, and staying on that track, right? Hadler with 6 goals. She's a sophomore. Maher with 8 goals. She's a junior.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You lose, and I'm sorry, Ella Duckman comes back. She's a junior. So there's only 3 seniors on the team: Herrera, Castro, and Del Real. So yeah, Elk Grove should be a lot better next year. Good move, a boot from too far away and out of bounds. Reminds me of the striker on my kids' team. Likes to kick it at the net, but it's never on net.
Well, I like the idea.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where
shot.
Right. That's about where the one shot from Buffalo Grove was hit from.
Yeah.
All right, against the wind now. A little push from behind from Hadler. Pushed out of bounds. Elk Grove with the ball at midfield.
Since that second goal, I think Elk Grove has been doing a better job trying to keep it in Buffalo Grove's half. But just once again, they're missing that last pass or that last opportunity to get a opening to shoot. Let's see if they can come away with a goal here. It'd be key.
Yeah, you got to get one first. Some good footwork, but unfortunately lost the ball on the pass. Another turnover, pushed out of bounds by Buffalo Grove. They're very happy just to put the ball out of bounds and use up the clock and take a 2-0 win.
Yeah. And we of course have the straight countdown clock here. No injury time, no adjustments by the referee to make sure there's no time wasting.
Yeah, somebody was saying, the World Cup added, 10 or 15 minutes of extra time?
It was an
unusual.
excellent opportunity. They were making a push to cut down on the time wasting. A study had been done to show that I think the ball was only in play 60 or 70 out of 90 minutes due to all the out of bounds, all the time wasting, substitutions.
Yeah, I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah. Here's a shot. Wide. Good save by the goal.
Good save, but it went out of bounds and he got a corner out of it. There we go.
You were saying earlier, I think we were off the air when you were saying it, but you want to put it's just like hockey. You want to put the shot on net, hope for deflections, and things can happen. If you
Absolutely.
can't, if you don't hit it on net, it'll never go in. So corner kicks out. Now you were talking earlier about set pieces. What would you do here? What would you be aiming for?
Man, this is tough. I mean, Buffalo Grove, they literally have their entire team, save one player, back, and not that Ooh, just couldn't quite get a boot on it.
That was
Buffalo Grove has almost everyone back behind the ball. And not only do they have everyone back behind the ball or coming back on that corner kick, they had everyone in the goalie box, in the 6-yard box there. I mean, no matter what play you try or what your runs are going to be, it's just going to be difficult to get through that many players. But
now that shot was an attempted pass to the far post. Nobody made a run for it, but it had a lot of speed on the ball. So, to stay on side and make that pass was a lot to expect.
It's a good idea, though. You get the defenders running backwards towards the goal and the forwards running towards the goal. Everyone's crashing that goal. You get a nice, low, hard cross like that into the box. It doesn't matter who it comes off of. They're going to have a hard time controlling it, and they're going to be moving towards the goal. You might get a deflection for an own goal. It doesn't matter if you're a top defender in the world playing in the Premier League or you're playing youth soccer. No one's going to have a great time controlling that ball, and you see what happens.
Well, Maher with the ball again on the attack,
Excellent
pushes it
move,
to the
getting
right
out
side.
wide.
Let's see if they can center it. Nobody on the far post. And that kick goes wide on the on their far side.
Much better. Good use of space. Good quick play, while not giving up control and possession. I'd like to see more of that from Elk Grove. I mean, they've been pushing the last 10 minutes ever since that second goal. They have been pushing. Buffalo Grove seems more than happy to give them the space.
Well, that's the question now. Is Elk Grove pushing and getting the ball, or is Buffalo Grove saying, we don't need any more offense. Let's just stay here on defense and kick the ball out of bounds and get a few goalie kicks, and eventually that 21 minutes is going to say 0.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
Elk Grove was looking for a pass back to the goalie there, but you're not going to get that one. That was clearly a missed kick.
Elk Grove holding on possession, going back into their own territory to maintain possession. We haven't seen that yet before, and then they lost it.
That, once again, that looked offsides to me.
Yeah, Wadis on defense, gets it up, pushed up a little bit. Elk Grove now with the ball in the middle, centers it to the wrong player. Wells with it, kicks it forward, looking for a send. This could work. See if the goalie comes out on this one. The goalie did come out. The fast field played a roll. Goalie picks it up, an easy grab. Now they're going to hopefully bring the ball up deliberately. Good pass to the far side. Is it Hadley? Hadler sent it into a lot of traffic. That was a 1-on-5 and still tried to send. So that would be where the coach would say, maybe you got to bring that one up slower. The wind is playing an effect on those goal kicks. They are certainly not as big as they were in the first half when they were on the other side.
Right idea, just a little too much power on that one. Yeah, I mean, Buffalo Grove, they're doing well. They're taking the pressure. They haven't really given up too many great opportunities but I just feel like Elk Grove has been making some good plays here.
Well, we were talking about this, right? But, I mean, has Elk Grove really got one quality shot on net? They finally have gotten a couple of shots on net, like that one from the corner, I remember. There's a little collision at midfield there.
A quality shot on net. I don't think either keeper has really made a save here. I mean, in contrast, though, Buffalo Grove has 2 shots on goal. Both happen to go in.
Well, the good thing about that is that first goal that was crazy, I don't want to say unlikely, but just a crazy shot. At least they're not going to win by a crazy shot. They got a 2-goal lead now.
Of course, the second one may have been offside, so that's going to
Oh, my goodness. That's right.
going to be an unfortunate...
So a crazy goal and an offside goal, right?
Offside. But once again, crazy goals are part of the game. That's why I'm telling you, put the shot on goal, put it in net.
Well, a wise coach once said, it doesn't matter which team is better. What matters is who wins, and whoever does win is the better team. Stop saying, we played better, we're a better team, but they won. So at this point, Elk Grove is not the better team. Wadis boots it upfield, kind of randomly, Wells under it.
Say as we go around about 18 minutes, that is a handball right there. Unfortunate for number 10 on Buffalo Grove.
Larkowski
just popped up on her. Let's see if Elk Grove can do anything. I mean, they got a decent position. She's got a good leg. Harmlessly drops right about the 18-yard line.
Elk Grove centers it. And
yeah, got the.
They're going to call a foul on the far side. My eyes went away from her after she centered the ball, so I didn't see what happened.
It was a bit late. I don't think there was much malice in that, but I would think you could maybe make an argument for a yellow on that. But there hasn't really been much behind any of the tackles here
we
today.
talked about,
so
yeah, off camera we talked about how many yellow cards there were going to be, and I think you said there'd be one, maybe two, and they would only be weather related.
I think that's. Oh, it would have liked to have seen Elk Grove follow that shot up. I mean,
right. Well, that was a good low kick with one skipper, unfortunately, right to the goalie.
Goalie had a little bit of trouble hanging on, but smothered it right away.
But back to the yellow cards, there's been nothing of malice in this game at all. Maybe
that one right there, that last one, I think was a lot like I was talking about before the game. It's getting late in the game. It's cold out there. A lot of ground's been covered.
Wadis on defense again, clears it. Oh, now Duckman pushed it too far forward to nobody.
But, at this time, too, I'd like to see Elk Grove push up. You have them deep, 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 and that they're taking that throw in about a good 15 yards ahead of where I think it went out of bounds.
That always happens.
I'd like to see the referee tell him to move it back, and I'd like to see Elk Grove, force them to make good. It's hard to play out of your own back end. Don't let them out of there so easily.
In the meantime, that's out of bounds off Del Real. Buffalo Grove throwing the ball in. Now this time they're throwing it in from the right spot. No somersaults. Anita threw that ball in. Buffalo Grove with it. Again, sending it, and it appears to be onside, but again, the pace of the field is going to get the ball right away to the goalie with no chance for a breakaway there. Wadis with it in their own zone.
But Buffalo Grove, though, they have that run timed. They have it down right now, so Elk Grove's gonna have to be careful as they seem to be pushing a little bit more forward.
Well, I'd like to see Elk Grove push on offense and worry less about that. You lose 3-0, lose 4-0, doesn't matter. You need to score. Hadley playing some defense there. God, why can't I get that right? Hadler playing defense there. This time Buffalo Grove with the ball finally in the front half. Throws it in, immediately turned over. Wells on the pressure. Some good footwork. Goes out of bounds, and again another throw in for Elk Grove. They do it quickly. Duckman, who seems to be everywhere.
Right now, unfortunately, Elk Grove needs to look to the left side. There's a whole lot of space open.
Well, they're pushing forward without numbers. Here's another 2-on-4 and another kick. It is on net. It's a good save, but it had really no chance of going in the net.
I'm going to say Stephanie Del Rey, number 21 for Elk Grove out here on the left side. You could see her yelling for the ball. She's got a lot of space, and there's been a lot of opportunities when she's had some nice runs down the left-hand side here, and they just haven't been able to get her involved and be missing a good opportunity here with some space in front of her.
Elk Grove fell on the play, was pushed down, but the referee said, Elk Grove, you've got control of the ball, play on. Elk Grove continuing with control of the ball until now Wells tapped it back to the defense, pushed forward from Buffalo Grove. Ball's near the sideline, goes out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Elk Grove.
Well, it looked like a disagreement between the center and the AR, and
how about
the center
that?
Definitely had that one. I definitely think that last came off the Buffalo Grove player,
but like
he's
you
in
said,
charge. Center's in charge. It's his call.
And he took charge.
I think it looks like Elk Grove's coach also takes a little bit of exception to that.
Yeah, he's walking right up to the Elk Grove coach, and from here it looks very cordial, but we don't know what's being said on the field. In the meantime, the clock keeps ticking.
Unfortunately for Elk Grove, that's the situation. You lose that time. Like I said, you're not getting it back in injury time. And as anyone who follows the Premier League, who watched Liverpool versus Tottenham this weekend, injury time is very critical. with Tottenham tying at 3-3 in the 92nd minute and Liverpool winning at 4-3 in the 94th. So, unfortunately, though, that isn't an option here, but just goes to show you, even with 13 minutes left here in the game, there's still time. You get one back.
Okay, here we go. The 3-on-3 sent all the way upfield. It might have a little too much pace on it. Number 20, Kaylee Clark. First time we've said her name today. Chased it down, but it's too fast, too far for her. Kaylee Clark in for Buffalo Grove. Far side, Hadler with the ball. Buffalo Grove goalie with it. Boots it out back to almost, Wells tips it a little further. Ball's safely at midfield. Clock is ticking, 12 minutes to go. Elk Grove needs to figure out how to get first one goal and then two. But right now, the quality shots just aren't there. Buffalo Grove is stacking the defense with everybody they can. All 10 of their players are within the 25-yard line. Centered.
Oh, that was a very, very good cross. Just a hair too high.
Headed out, but it was headed out nicely by Buffalo Grove. So it was centered, but there was nobody there to deflect it, right?
Just a tad too high for Elk Grove. But
here another send attempt. Wattis on the job. Booted it forwards, defended by Buffalo Grove. And again, Wattis doing the job on defense. Soccer players make good volleyball players. So Wattis, if you do play volleyball, I bet you're pretty good. Center, Buffalo Grove, not exactly got the entire ball, far side. Elk Grove with it here. There's some danger zone here. Oh, and made a pass to the right. Unfortunately, Hadley just got dumped. Now, question, they are going to give a penalty kick on this.
Interesting.
A very severe penalty. This is out by the far corner of the box. She got dumped, obviously intentional.
I'm trying to see on the...
Well, the penalty occurred inside the goalie box. It was just all the way in the corner.
I was looking at that other yellow hash mark. So, that is an unfortunate opportunity. I think Buffalo Grove would feel pretty strongly that that's just they're maintaining possession. They're shielding the ball, letting it go out. A play you see it.
Well, the referee is talking to the line judge for some reason, but to me, that is a penalty. He decked her. She hit the ground hard. It was in the goalie box. You just can't do that, but it was probably aided by the slippery field. But I didn't think about that as a way to get back into the game. You make a play, you get knocked down, get a penalty.
Who do we got lining up here? Is that Sophia Garcia?
No, I think it's number 7.
Number 7.
Hadler, who's got 6 goals on the year, maybe 7, and this could be a very interesting finish here with 10 minutes to go in the game. It went in.
Oh,
Great kick on the far side, right side. It is a goal, 2-1.
Excellent. Rather unfortunate for the keeper there. She did get at least a hand on it. Guessed right. Guessed correctly, and
but you got to give a lot of credit for Hadler on that. First off, she got decked right in the corner, made a great play to get decked. Right then, with the penalty kick, kicked it hard enough so the goalie, even though she had her hands on it, this is why you want maybe a taller goalie. I don't know. She had her hands on it, just hit their hands and still went in
low, hard into the corner, and
so it's a 2-1 game with 10:46 to go. So you have to find a way to get another penalty kick. Now, I've always maintained in soccer, the penalty kick is a very severe penalty. For in this case, there was no way that there was going to be a goal that could have resulted if no penalty had occurred.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and it is something they have worked on in the game, because a lot of times you'll see what they call a last defender foul, or
so Elk Grove has
a denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
So that was plucked out of midair by Karen Herrera, the senior, then turned it over promptly. Here's another send. Duckman Duckman has the ball. Hadler, a one-touch pass. Herrera, back to Hadler.
a little pep in the step here from Elk Grove.
Yeah. Then again, Buffalo Grove is content to just kick it upfield. This time not out of bounds. An easy interception from Elk Grove. Centered, no crossed, and intercepted.
Let's
still with the ball, Elk Grove. Centered. Here could be a long kick. That's going to be too easy unless it's over the goalie's head. I'm not sure if I like that shot. There was, again, 6 passes in a row to result in that.
Bit optimistic. You know.
But Duckman with the ball. Now, what I do like is Duckman's up. It looks like Elk Grove has pushed her at least up to midfield, even though she plays midfield a lot. There's only 3 defenders there, and they are relying on Wadis.
And on that last, until the keeper got the ball, Elk Grove was leaving one lone defender back. And, I mean, at this point with Buffalo Grove, they're not pushing. They're only having one up there. You don't need 3. Don't leave back 2 or 3 to mark one girl. You're gonna lose out. Then you're gonna lose out on numbers. You're not gonna be able to maintain or find any way to unlock that defense.
Another kick on, one hopper, nicely saved. In the meantime, while you were talking, Kaylee Clark went out. And Elizabeth Fine came in for Buffalo Grove. But that was a good kick on net. One skip, maybe a little bit to the right or to the left. Could have gone in. Looks like an unintentional handball as the 2 players collided. Fiorito and Del Real bumped into each other and resulted in a handball.
And Buffalo Grove's goalie, she's maintaining good control. Those shots, I mean, they haven't been particularly difficult, but she's held on to them ever since that one that she gave up a rebound on.
Here comes Fine chasing the ball. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be goalie kick. There's got a good shielding defense by Elk Grove to make sure that Fine couldn't get to the ball, and it rolled out.
Going back to the penalty kick here, I think that they're, I'll definitely want to go back and check the tape on the video here. Maybe you at home had a good angle of it. I want to know if there would have been, if this was an opportunity, say in a situation that had video replay, I don't know if the Elk Grove player was out of bounds at the time when she was fouled. And that would be an interesting spin on whether or not that should have been what was somewhat of a severe penalty kick, although
Well, I'm going to say I thought I knew all the rules, but it seems to me if you deck a player out of bounds, it's still a foul and it's still a penalty kick. But you're saying out of bounds of the goalie box?
If they had gone out over the touch line there, I don't know, or the end line rather.
I think when you look at the replay, you'll see she was in bounds. At least that's what I thought I saw. But absolutely in the very, very, very far corner of that box. Here's a send attempt upfield to Hadler. Centered. Here's Maher. She's trouble. Go this way. And there's a trip, but no call. And a kick to the far side, but good save by the goalie.
Beautiful one-touch pass to put her through.
That's a tough situation for the referee. She's fouled, right? But he said play on because you've got control. It results in a shot on. But wouldn't you rather have a free kick from there instead of the play on?
Well, now you've brought up one of the biggest questions in soccer right now. When you're the attacking player, do you, as I always would like to do, as I liked as a player, as I like in players I'm a fan of, and I feel like you definitely see it much more in the women's game, they fight to stay up on their feet. Now, in the men's game, especially at the professional level,
they take the dive.
You take the dive.
Well, and we all know they take the dive, and then they're on the ground for 20 minutes, offsides again. Then they're on the ground for 20 minutes, writhing in fake pain.
Exactly, and I think there is
something to be said.
The unfortunate reality of it is, in here, you don't dive, you don't get. She worked really hard right there to stay on her feet, but she definitely had a lesser opportunity of a shot because she's recovering her balance, trying to get her feet, trying to get a shot. That half a second, that second or two it took her to reestablish her control allows Buffalo Grove to get 3 defenders. All of a sudden it's 3-on-1, and she isn't able to get much power on that shot.
So in the meantime, 5:40 to go, clock ticking, still down a goal. Buffalo Grove with the ball in their own end.
Bold play, trying to play it out of the box there. That neither team has had great success.
I like what Fine did, though. She went out of bounds to get the ball, so it didn't take any time off the clock to go chase it. But here again, if you're Buffalo Grove with the lead, you might have rather she didn't get the ball, let some clock run before you get the ball in. But Buffalo Grove is not really trying to run the clock. They're just trying to play a good game.
No, I haven't seen any extremely obvious attempts to run the clock out. Now they did.
Maybe
there was a bit of a scuffle in the net after the penalty kick. Elk Grove was looking to pick it up and get a quick restart at half, and Buffalo Grove said, "No, thank you. We can take it back ourselves." But no, both teams are keeping it in play. They're keeping going.
Yeah, it's not chippy, no yellow cards, and it's still a 1-goal game with 5 minutes now. To the right side, Duckman. Is it Duckman?
Well intercepted. And then
Again,
well
Wadis
played
on
through,
defense.
But
Go back to the goalie. Nope, she turns it upfield.
Looks like
Fiorito.
an advantage on the handball there. Good call by the referee.
Here's a send and then to nobody again.
But unfortunately, nothing, no connection on the end. I mean, I appreciate that they're trying to get quicker, get the quicker counterattack. But you either have to get it past over the heads of that
Duckman with the ball, sends it back to the goalie. That's a little bit of a dangerous pass, but back to the goalie. Then just booted up to midfield. Maher was right behind. If that pass didn't connect, Maher would have intercepted that, and that could have been trouble.
Yeah.
Another kick from too far away, a one bouncer, hoping for a skip in the weather. So 3.5 minutes to go. Elk Grove needs to really push. Of course, Buffalo Grove now is holding on to the ball just a bit, a few extra seconds. And it's a pop-up.
I will say the keeper has held it on just maybe a hair longer than she would be allowed ever since they went up 1-0. But
yeah, there's
they're not
but in the meantime, Maher with the ball.
Nothing aggressive, nothing that warrants a yellow card. But maybe the referee can give her a little reminder. Let's keep that ball in play.
Fiorito with the hand throw in. Duckman with the ball, about 3 minutes to go, centered, across to Maher, danger again. Pushes it back a little, continues to hold on. Buffalo Grove content just to stay between her and the net. Duckman with the ball, pushed away. Back to Duckman on offense now, and just a turnover. She was expecting a run from her teammate, but teammate wound up with the ball. Far side pass, Wells with the steal, Hadler with the ball, stopped by Wells, centered, Buffalo Grove with it. That was kind of an end of a really nice little run that Elk Grove had. Now Buffalo Grove, a 1-on-1. Getting chased from behind. This take a little time in the corner is going to be my guess.
Down to the corner, yeah.
Yeah. As much time as she can before it gets kicked out.
Gets kicked out, draw a foul.
To me, that should be a foul on the offensive player, but it's not. Anyway, Elk Grove finally got the ball with 2 minutes 14 to go and has to go all the distance of the field. So that was the first attempt at stalling we've seen.
Yeah, but one fully within the
within the rules
of play. None of the cheap.
Yeah, I'd like to see a foul on the player doing the shielding.
Yeah, I could see an argument for a foul there definitely from where we're sitting, but the referee was content to let him move on, and
all right, the ball's thrown.
Did regain control.
Yeah, so far side, minute and a half to go, centered. If she can get around the defender here, but it's a 1-on-2. You need somebody to be able to pass it to. Here's a shot. It is wide. That shot wasn't so bad. Like we were talking earlier, she needed to keep her head and shoulders over the ball. She was behind it.
That was a good shot. Unfortunately, just a bit too high.
Yeah, you just have to hit it on that. The other one would be point the toes down. Keep the ball low. Minute and a half.
Buffalo Grove making a late game substitution. Let's see who they're bringing in for the last 2 minutes.
And this
number
is
19.
Another attempt at using up some clock with a 1-goal lead. Minute 18, intercepted by Elk Grove. They're not out of a chance yet. Pass to the near side, Del Real. Center. Nope, good move. Pass into the corner.
Move. Excellent use of the space.
And no. Too far. Goalie kick with a minute and 3.
Fortunate. Just a little too much pace on the ball.
Turned out to be a really exciting game, this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, the second half really gave real good.
So a crazy goal, right? Then an offsides goal, and then a penalty in the far corner, kick goal.
Unfortunately, if the score stays the way it is, if you're Elk Grove, you're going to
37 seconds.
Feel a little
Well, yeah, you will. And a kick from a little too far and a little too wide. So now with 28.
By the way this game goes, and as you said, the score reflects who the better team is, and I would argue that is not necessarily always the case, such as today. But
you mean you're going to disagree with that really good soccer coach?
The score definitely reflects who wins the game. So.
Well, 2-1 with 6 seconds. This will just about end it, unless Elk Grove can make a miraculous kick like that. Let that go out of bounds. The game is over. What a wonderful game that we witnessed. Want to give your final thoughts?
Well, I'd say it's an excellent game. Saw a lot of good opportunities. Both teams made the most of their chances. And unfortunately for the home team here today, the visitors just happened to get the better of them today, and I don't think they should feel completely mistreated. I know there's possibly a offsides goal in there, but like I said, maybe it was our angle, but at the same time, Buffalo Grove did have quite a few good opportunities as well.
So it was a great game. The final score 2-1 in favor of Buffalo Grove over Elk Grove. This is Bob Vilsoy and Brian Syring signing off. The great crew, Debbie Dennison, Scott Mayernick, Brooke Jersick, and Russ Rowe. And we'll see you on Thursday at the volleyball match. And thanks very much for having us.
One last congratulations to our graduating seniors, Karen Herrera, Nicole Castro, and Stephanie Del Real. Good luck wherever it takes you.